Hi folks, you're very welcome to the latest episode of Among the Ferns, and we're here at Fernhill Garden Centre. As you can see, we are indeed among the ferns, and let me introduce you to our host. This is Owen Reid. Good afternoon, Owen.
Paul, how are you keeping?
Not a bother on me.
Good to have you here again.
Thank you very much indeed for inviting us back. So last week we were talking about hydrangea, and this week we're going to be talking about
Shrubberies.
Shrubberies.
Which is probably one of the most important planting groups you're going to put in your garden, because they're plants that will give you colour right throughout the seasons, and they'll give you practical solutions as well, from a shelter point of view, from a privacy point of view, lots of attributes. So the very, very important factor in your garden are shrubberies.
Lovely. Well, let's go and see some shrubs. Well, we move from the ferns. We are now among the shrubs. Owen, a beautiful display here, as always, of course. Silly question. What exactly is a shrub?
It's a hardy woody plant that comes back every year and flowers at different times. There's evergreens, there's deciduous, there's sub-shrubs. So they're an enormous range of varieties. You've got the likes of the hypericums, the fuchsias. You've got the viburnums, spireas. Some of these are very large families. For example, the spireas might have 30 or 40 different varieties that you would use. The viburnum is another huge variety. You might have 30 or 40 varieties you might use. And they all have different attributes, different shapes, different sizes. Some are evergreen, some are deciduous, some flower in the spring, some are autumn. So they're very versatile range of plants. And there's shrubs for all sorts of purposes and all sorts of solutions in your garden. If you've got a very shady area, there's shrubs for that. You've got a very windy area, there's shrubs for that. You've got a very dry area, there's shrubs for that. So they're just an amazing range of plants.
Yeah. So a shrub is basically anything that's not a tree.
Basically, yeah, kind of. That's a good way of putting it. How are they used in gardens? That's probably the main question you would ask. They're used for giving colour and texture in your garden throughout the different seasons. We always recommend people come into a garden centre at different seasons, because you'll always see something interesting at different seasons. For example, you put your hand on a
Well, I was just wondering, there is a nice aroma drifting over. Will we follow the over to the what did you call it? The Russian sage.
Russian sage. This is Proboscis.
Because it looks, for the benefit of the people who are listening rather than watching, it looks a lot like lavender.
It's a kind of a flower like lavender colour, because colour similar. Smell of sage. It's a very robust plant. It's a plant that comes into flower kind of in early summer. But this is what we call a sub-shrub. What a sub-shrub is it's not quite as hardy or as woody as your ordinary shrub, but it works. And it works fantastic in a shrubbery. So it's quite a low-growing plant. It grows to about 2 foot tall. And it's one of these plants that will tolerate really, really dry conditions. So if you're on a sandy ground and you can't grow plants and you've tried everything else, this guy will grow for you. Same as lavenders, they grow there as well. So there's plants for every single solution that you have. We tend to categorise them in small, medium and large, just from a point of view so people can know how to purchase them. And then when you are laying them out in your garden, it's very important. People tend to put shrubberies in around their borders of their site. And they can be a very good solution from a privacy point of view. So if you've got a site, say a half-acre site, and you don't want to have a hedge, you can put in what we call a mixed shrubbery. And a mixed shrubbery is something that will have various plants at different sizes to give you privacy, but also texture and interest. And this is one typical plant here. This is a choicea. This is choicea ternata. This is one called Sunshine. Beautiful gold foliage plant that will grow to about 6 to 8 foot tall. Mexican orange blossom is another name for it, and it has a beautiful white flower, and again a lovely smell off it as well. So if you were in a very, say, a half-acre garden and you were planting a shrubbery that was maybe 30 or 40 metres long, in that area you might plant 7 to 10 of those plants, and then you come along with an evergreen plant like maybe a spirea or a whitegelia, and you put it beside it. For example, the purple whitegelia, you stay exactly where you are, go grab it. The purple whitegelia beside, and this is why you have fun with shrubs, the purple whitegelia beside the golden foliage You can imagine two big masses then planted side by side. They're just going to give you amazing colour and texture. And that's what shrubs can do.
And what colour, when will we get the colour throughout the year?
Well, you're talking about foliage colour here at the moment, right? But also, this has got a white flower on it, and this has got a beautiful purple flower on it. So you're planting shrubs not just for the flowers, but for foliage as well, and texture. And so it's very important to kind of position plants correctly together to get the best colours and textures out of them. Purples and greys go very well together. Purples and yellows go very well together. So another reason you would position this particular plant beside that particular plant is that's evergreen. This is deciduous. So in the winter months, you've got something evergreen besides something that's deciduous. So every second plant, you would pop in something that's that's the evergreen deciduous, and you mix your plants up along like that. And these are all very, very tough plants. They'll grow and thrive and easy maintain and give you great privacy.
And would we plant them so that they're kind of interweaving?
Yes, and the idea of doing that is you're reducing the maintenance that you have in your garden. You really want these plants all to intermingle together, drowned out the ground, so you have no weeding to be done.
Yeah. So these are all perfect for hedges. And again, what kind of ground are we looking at?
Generally speaking, you want good, rich ground. Some plants will tolerate poor ground. Some plants will require peaty ground. But in general, average, good, rich ground will be fine for these kind of plants. When you do plant them, the way we would suggest you do it is you mark out your bed. We'll be talking about garden design in our next show, and we'll speak about that in more detail. But generally, you'd mark out your bed where you're planting these with, say, a rope. You'd spray it off, kill off the grass, and then you go purchase your plants, and you very cleverly and very carefully make sure that you position your plants to give you what you want. Whether you want privacy, whether you want texture, if you want summer colours, whether you want winter colour. So you pick your plants for those various reasons. You then plant them, and then you mulch underneath them with some bark mulch, and that way then you're suppressing the weeds. Over a number of years, then these plants are all going to mingle together, and the weeds will not be an issue.
Well, here's a man who's just been shopping. What have you got here?
I just want to show you a few samples of small shrubs, medium shrubs, and then large shrubs.
Lovely.
So what we have in small shrubs here is we've got this is a beautiful little euonymus called Blondie. This is a gorgeous, believe it or not, this is a holly bush, so this is called Golden Gem. And this is a hebe called Hebe pagei. Now, all of these here grow no more than about 2 foot tall. So that, so they're a perfect solution in close to your patio area, in close to where you're entering into the house, or at the end of a large shrubbery where you want to bring the height down. So in other words, there's shrubs for every part of the garden.
Right.
These are kind of small shrubs, kind of 2 to 3 foot tall.
Are these all year round ones? Or
all year round. These are all completely evergreen.
Perfect.
And other varieties that you would have available as well in this kind of small category, you would have the likes of the Potentillas, which flower all summer, but are deciduous. So these are great to mix in amongst it. And then we kind of pop up to the medium-sized shrubs, and these are the likes of the Hypericum. Hypericum hickcoat, one of the best shrubs you can have in your garden.
That is a beautiful, beautiful
flowers all summer, very hardy. It's just one of those. It's like the hydrangeas we had last week.
Yeah.
It's just one of those plants that just it's a real common plant.
Yeah.
But one that just rewards you the whole time.
Again, just for the benefit of the people listening rather than viewing this, just describe this, because to me it looks like a giant buttercup.
It is a giant buttercup. It is St. John's wort. You're probably familiar with the herbs St. John's wort, which has got a huge amount of attributes. This is the Hypericum. This is the flower of the St. John's wort. So it's just a really special plant. Lovely buttercup flowers, large buttercup flowers that just flower all summer long.
Beautiful,
Literally
beautiful.
all summer long.
So next along we've got
this is called a parahebe, and a parahebe is a mixture between a hebe and a para. This is one called Avalanche. It's kind of about a 3 to 4 foot tall plant. Lovely little white flowers on it.
Tiny little white flowers.
Tiny little white flowers.
The size of a cent.
Exactly.
Coin, yeah.
Just starting to come in here now.
Beautiful, Owen. And how about this one back here?
This is a Escallonia. This is one called Escallonia Red Dream. Escallonia generally can be grown as a hedge. Escallonia macranta, you see it as a pink hedge all over, particularly the west of Ireland. This particular one is a dwarfer variety. It's called Red Dream. Grows to about 5 to 6 foot. Mass evergreen, masses of pink flowers on it in the summer months. And this is a typical shrub that you would like to have in your garden because it's evergreen and it flowers for quite a long length of time. And this is what shrubs do: is they give you a big presence, give you a large, long flowering period, and are relatively hardy. Another variety here beside it, and we had a dwarf hebe here a moment ago. This is kind of a medium-sized hebe. He was our fantastic range of plants. This is one called Strawberry and Cream. Again, it'll grow to about 3 to 4 foot. With, you can see these beautiful flowers on it.
Yeah. Just describe the flowers for us, because the leaves are very long and thin. And
like a large strawberry, really, aren't they?
I suppose they are, really, yeah.
Large
like
strawberry.
A flowery strawberry.
Yeah, so they're a beautiful plant. And another great plant is the fuchsia.
Yes, the all-time classic.
The fuchsia this is Mrs. Popple. Mrs. Popple will grow to about 5-6 foot as well, and just give you this amazing range of flowers right throughout the summer as well.
In terms of height, so it's about 5 or 6 feet, but how wide would it go?
About 5 or 6 foot is wide.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
lovely.
about 5 or 6 foot.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty decent sized plant.
So when you're planting all these things, you have to take into account the fact that it will fill out as well as growing high.
Yeah, when you are planting these plants, we would generally suggest you put them about 2 to 3 foot apart, so that after 3 or 4 years they're kind of intergrowing into each other. You can put them further apart if you want, but for a shrubbery, you like them to come in together. And the whole secret of a shrubbery is, when you're laying it out, first thing you need to do is pick out your focal plants. We'll talk about focal plants later on in another program, but what focal plants are, it's kind of small little trees and shrubs that kind of stand out of your shrubbery, because shrubberies they all kind of fall in and out of each other. So it's nice to have something a little bit different. The likes of large pampas grass, a small conifer that might get up into the air, maybe up to 4 or 5 meters, a small tree. These are the kind of things that just every 10 meters or so you'll put in what we call focal plants. Then you intermix it then with your shrubberies. These then, the last ranges are large shrubberies. These are the kind of ones where you would probably start to put in, if you want to put in the mixed shrubbery, that would give you a little bit of shelter and a little bit of privacy. These plants can go up to 8 to 10, 12 foot tall.
Wow.
So you've got to be careful when you're picking your shrubs, that you ask questions, you make sure that you know what height they're going to grow to.
Yeah.
The likes of this holly bush here, I mean, that can grow up to 10 to 12 foot.
And how long will they take to grow from
slow.
this? Right, what,
It's
4 or
slow.
5 years?
Or maybe even 10 years.
Oh, crikey.
So you got to give them time.
So if you're looking for something more
You're
quickly growing.
you're planting your laurel hedges and your beech hedges.
Right, yeah.
But if you want something that's got colour and texture and going to give you that privacy and less maintenance, because you're not having to prune it every day,
Yeah.
the mixed shrubbery is an excellent way of giving you privacy. This is Pittosporum. Beautiful soft foliage, very, very popular for people who do cut flowers. This again, like the sage that we showed earlier on, is a great plant to go with that. The purple and the silvery green of that works very well as a
Yeah, the
combination.
beautiful small green leaves on that, and then the larger purpley leaves on that one.
This is called Catinus. This is one called Royal Purple. It's one of the last plants to come into foliage. This nearly takes to come into foliage in May. Whereas everything else coming into foliage in April, this guy is lazy. He doesn't come in until May.
Looks a little bit like a red robin, that one.
It's a little bit like a red robin. And this is our last big one we want to discuss. This is Buddleia. And the Buddleia is the butterfly bush. And this is a new variety. It's multicolours on it. They generally come in purples and whites. This Buddleia is going to go to 6 to 8 to 10 foot.
Wow.
Again,
over a period of 10... Oh, very quickly.
Very quickly. That'll be up there very fast. So I suppose the secret of shrubberies is ask the questions. We lay them out here in Fernhill in their sizes. So we'd have all of our small shrubs together. We'll have our medium shrubs together. We'll have our large shrubs together. So that when you come in here, you have an idea, right, I want a large shrub. That's where they all are. I want a medium-sized shrub. That's where they all are. But never, ever go out of place without asking the question. Because don't just shop with your eyes. Always ask the question, how big is this going to go? What soil conditions does it require? We've got loads of horticulturists here. So make sure you ask the questions.
Yeah, and the advice, of course, is free.
Advice is free.
So a shrub hedge is obviously going to be a lot more expensive than your standard, say, Leylandii or laurel hedge. Can shrubs and trees coexist?
It obviously is more expensive, 100%. I mean, your laurel hedge might be $4.95 a plant, whereas your shrubs will be somewhere between $7.95 to $8.95. Some of them even up to $10.95. And you are putting a lot more of them in as well, because you're not planting a single line, you're planting a double or triple line. So it is going to be a lot more expensive. But you can, to answer your question, and it probably is sensible to put in a few hedging varieties to bulk it up and give it that privacy quickly. So using Portuguese laurel, using ordinary laurel, using red robin, fantastic plant for hedging. And then these mixture of large shrubs will give you the balance. And one huge advantage, it may be more expensive, but one huge advantage is the maintenance on a shrubbery hedge is 4 times less than a hedge. Because an ordinary hedge, you're going out there pruning it, shaping it, trying to keep it in order. Where with a mixed shrub hedge, you're not. You're allowing it all mixed mash getting together. You're putting manners on one or two of the plants to stop them getting too big. But that's really it. So maintenance-wise, long-term, you're saving a huge amount of time. But more importantly, you're giving your boundary of your site two huge advantages. One, you can't define where the boundary is. With a hedge, you can define, oh, that's the boundary. Right, I know exactly what size this side. With a shrubbery, you're not really sure. Where's the boundary? Is it 4 metres back or 10 metres behind that? So it's a bit of a trick.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about more of that in design next week. But also, it's giving you huge range of colour and texture throughout the season. It's a lot more interesting, not as boring. A hedge can be quite boring.
We have been Among the Ferns talking about shrubs in our latest podcast, and thank you very much indeed for joining us. Remember to catch up on our previous podcasts. You can do so by going to YouTube, Spotify or Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your podcasts, just search Among the Ferns. Until next time, Owen, what are we going to be talking about next time?
We're talking about garden design next time.
Oh, very good. Make sure you tune in. Same time, same channel, wherever you find your podcasts. We're there for you.